Okay, so this is the demonstration video of the Whirlpool Gold double oven. Very simple controls here. You have controls for the upper oven, which are controlled here, and the lower oven, which are controlled there. The controls are the same. Okay, well, you have the top does a convection bake. You have bake, broil, auto clean. Okay, so the oven does have a self-cleaning mode. Timer, you can set a timer here. You can also set a delayed timer so that you can start your meal an hour or 8 hours or whatever you want from now. Controls to turn off the oven are upper off and lower off, and then this is to start. So after you plug in numbers, you just hit start here. This can change your time here. Okay, you have a clock and a light, just like standard oven. Okay. So here's the top oven here. Now there's a little bit of dirt down there, but I'm going to clean that up. But anyway, that's the convection fan, so it blows air through the entire oven compartment, so that you get your best even temperature on the inside for baking. And that's going to be really critical for baking, because nobody ever wants to have, you know, a cake that has a hard exterior and a not cooked interior. So there's that. Okay. And the bottom oven, standard oven. It looks like the bottom oven really hasn't been used, and the top oven looks like it's been very lightly used. So I'm going to plug this here in a second here. So this oven has a lot of things that I really like about it. I've done a lot of these double ovens, but I like the fact that the controls are very simple. Some of these get very convoluted and very technical to use, and I think that a lot of times maybe users they get a little bit confused if they have to go through the manual to figure out how it works. These are very simple, intuitive controls. The other thing about this oven that I noticed when I stripped it down was that it has actually fans on the inside. So the air is drawn through this vent right here through a fan, and the oven, the heat from the oven gets ventilated instead of the heat going up into the controls. I've had a number of these, and typically the hot air goes up through the controls, and that's where you have issues with the control panel and all that. And this oven here actually just ventilates itself. So there's a fan for the upper oven, and there's also a fan for the lower oven. I've never seen that on a double oven before, where it actually, both compartments ventilate. And the other thing about this, which you'll notice here in a second, okay, that's the top element is the broil element, and the bottom element is the bake element, and both ovens have that. When it goes, the oven actually has a preheat cycle, so it'll heat itself up to get to temperature. But what it does, instead of just putting all of the load on one element, normally they'll just use the lower element for all the baking stuff, and then the upper element only gets used for broiling. However, in these ovens, they try to get a uniform temperature throughout the compartment by cycling between the upper and the lower elements, so that you get an even temperature off of the roof and the bottom of the oven. But the most important thing about that, I think, is that you're spreading the load so that not one of these elements is constantly bearing the load of preheating that oven, which is pretty smart from a long-standing standpoint, because it's going to make the elements last longer. And the way the controls are set up with the ventilation, the controls are going to survive a lot longer than a standard double oven. Same thing on the bottom. Bottom one is bake, top is broil, and we're going to plug that in a second here. So when it first gets plugged in, it will give a warning that there was a power failure, which is normal. So I test on a generator here, because I don't actually have electricity in this workspace. Let me just go ahead and strap it into my little jig here. Whoops. And I'm going to turn on a generator here in a second, so it's going to get very noisy. But that's going to give me the power I need to test all the functions. And I'm going to close the bottom one here. Okay, so now you can see that the power failure function. It's just telling you that there was a power failure, but any of the controls will clear that. I'm going to click the light here so you can see. So it looks like the lights top and bottom are working here. Okay, and when you push the light button, all 4 lights come on, and then when you open the doors, each individual light will come on. Let me do this here. I think it's about 4.5 feet of cooking space in this oven. So again, that's the upper oven and the lower oven. I guess when the lower oven opens, both the lights come on. I didn't realize that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and cycle it. So I'm going to do a standard upper oven gate. I don't have enough power in that generator to power the oven because it's like 8,500 watts. It's a 5,000 watt generator, so I'm going to test one oven at a time here. So let's just go upper oven here. It's going to start to go at 350. You can hear the generator cycling on now. Okay, so it's going through a preheat cycle right now, telling you that it's baked and that the oven is on. And in a second here, you're going to start to see that the elements glow. You can also change whatever your temperature is here, just simply by doing this. So 355, 360, whatever it is. Okay, they can go down, I think, as low as 180 degrees. You have to check the manual. I have a link for the manual on the listing. So now it's going through a preheat in the upper oven. And again, the top and bottom elements cycle on and off. Pretty soon you'll start to see the lower elements start to glow. Top was probably glowing already. Going through its preheat. There it is. Okay, so now you see that element start to glow. And then likewise, the top element is also glowing. You can barely see it there because of the reflection, but so again, it does cycle the top and lower elements until the oven gets up to heat, and then once the oven is heated up to temperature, only the bottom element will be on as long as that's in bake mode. Okay, so obviously if both elements are on, the broil works as well. So let's go ahead and turn it off here. So upper oven off. Okay, so I just cleared it off. Now we're going to go to a let's do a broil. Okay, so 500 degrees start, and it'll cycle out again here. Obviously, if the upper element's already heated up, it's going to heat up during the broil cycle. But we're just going to verify here, and you can see it glowing there. It's pretty hot in there. Anyhow, so it's going through its thing now. Okay. Oh, the one thing I wanted to test here was let me turn off the upper oven. Wanted to make sure that the convection fan was working. So if it is, you'll see that fan in the back there start to spin. It doesn't do it with the oven open. So you go to convect, whatever temperature you want, let's say 350 convection. Usually baking will be about 400 degrees, but we'll just go 350 for now. Okay, and then, start. Oh, sorry again. Let's go convect. Let's go up to 400 here. Let's just do that, whatever. 80, 85, 90, 95, 400. Okay, and then just hit start. And then it tells you that it's heating. Convection bake, that's indicated here. It's going through its preheat cycle here. I don't know if the fan comes on in the preheating cycle or not. I think it waits for the oven to be up to temperature, but let's just open it up here. Oh yeah, the fan is on. Okay, so you can see the fan spinning. It'll come to a stop here in a second. There it is. Okay, so the fan is working, so that means the convection cycle is working on the oven. Oh yeah, there's also a door indicator indicating that the door is open. So if it's cracked or whatever, it's going to tell you that. And it also, the elements will both shut off. If it is cracked for more than 2 minutes, both elements shut off. Okay, so let's go upper oven off now. Let's go to the lower oven now. So we're going to do lower oven controls here. Okay, 350 and start. So now it's going to start to preheat the lower oven. So heat, okay, you can see the indicator there. Now it's telling me it's in a preheat mode. For some reason the timer's on here, but I must have pushed timer when I was doing this. Let's go timer off. Oh, that's what it is. The preheat cycle takes 6.5 minutes. That's the calculated preheat cycle on this. So in a second here, we're going to start to see the elements go on lower oven. That's lower oven right there. And again, the upper and lower elements will both cycle on and off to heat the oven compartment evenly, even though it's only the preheat mode. You can hear the generator laboring here. And here we go. I'm just kind of zoom it back a little bit. Still has 5.5 minutes left until it's actually up to temperature. AccuBrake system is probably one of the most accurate temperature controls in the industry. They really incorporated some real smarts into this oven that I haven't seen in other double ovens, and I've been dealing with these for quite some time now. Never did a Whirlpool Gold though before. Certainly been a pleasure. Okay, so now that's the lower element in the lower oven, and then that's the upper element in the lower oven. And once that compartment gets up to temperature, since it's in bake mode, only the lower element will be on. If it was in broil mode, only the upper element would stay on. So everything is in working order. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off here. Just turn off the generator. I'm going to turn the oven off just so I don't do a hard stop. So let's go ahead and do lower oven off. Okay, goes back to the time of day, which could be, you'll need to set that obviously. And turn the generator off. Okay, so that is the conclusion of the working test of the Whirlpool Gold double oven. As you can see, all the controls, everything are working properly. Oven is in really great condition. I mean, aside from a little bit of dirt on the inside there and stuff, that needs to be cleaned. The upper oven's the only one that looks like it's been used. Even the racks really aren't that varnished, so I think this was probably, just in some kitchen somewhere that somebody just used every so often to bake a meal with. Lower oven hasn't been used at all, so I don't think they actually used the full capacity of this oven, which is kind of a shame because you can make a hell of a Thanksgiving dinner with this thing if you use both ovens. And they are full size, they're 30-inch ovens, so put a turkey in the top one, you can put 4 pies in the bottom one, and you're good to go. That does conclude the working test of the Whirlpool Gold double oven.